This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I want to welcome you to the Ramon Preston Show. If you don't know, now you know. I'm your host, Ramon Preston. And guess what? Every week, literally every week, we come to you to bring you information that we know is strategically and specifically designed to help you properly start, structure, and scale any business, any ministry, any income stream, any wealth building dream. And this is exactly what we do. And all the information that I share with you on the Ramon Preston Show is a direct extension of what we do here every day through our consulting division, our coaching division, and our training division. And you may even ask, why are you always sharing this information with the general public? Because I want to help you heighten your awareness on how important entrepreneurship is, how important financial literacy is, how important investing is and wealth building is, how important it is for you and your family to have a legacy. And so once you're able to have a heightened awareness of these things, and then you're able to complement that awareness with the right information, the right business and investing and wealth building intelligence, it's easier for you to put those things to practice. So welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me a quick favor before we get started with today's show. I want you to hit the like button if you're on a platform watching or listening that you're able to like. If you're able to share, please do so. Make sure that you tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, and the Ramon Preston Show. We are live in his house on this beautiful day right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. I also want to ask, if you're viewing live and you're on a platform that you have the capabilities of commenting, would you please be so kind to put in the comments what city or state or maybe country you are watching us from. We have a tremendous community that support the Ramon Preston Show, particularly those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube. We're starting to branch out and to expand into different markets on different platforms through other virtual and physical broadcasts and networks, and I'm super excited about that. And so what I'm going to be sharing with you today is really going to be a part of a 5-show series. I'm literally taking this whole week to talk to you about coaching, about consulting, about training. I'm going to literally give you some behind the boardroom insights on what I have done to create a $1 million, soon to be multi-million-dollar organizational enterprise. And maybe with what I'm going to be sharing with you today and throughout this week, maybe, just maybe, there's something that you're going to hear that resonates with you, that gives you the green light. It gives you the confirmation to know that you either need a coach as a professional, you either need a coach as a business owner, you either need a coach as an individual, or maybe, don't miss this, or maybe you are a coach. Perhaps you already know that you have a calling or some type of assignment to be a coach, or maybe a consultant, or maybe a trainer. But even if you don't feel like that's the direction that God is taking you with regard to becoming a coach, becoming a consultant, or becoming a trainer, I'm going to be sharing a lot of things with you this week that will heighten your awareness on how important it is for you to at least have the mindset of a coach, a consultant, and a trainer. I really believe, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, a lot of ministers, a lot of family, household leaders miss great golden opportunities to succeed and to really live out their dreams, not because they're making a whole lot of mistakes with what they're doing. Sometimes it's just missteps because of what they're not doing. And what I mean by that is, if you never develop the mindset of a coach, if you never develop the mindset of a consultant, if you never develop the mindset of a trainer, most likely you're going to continue to find yourself doing everything yourself and never being able to document and duplicate what you're doing so that you can start bringing people into your ecosystem, and at some point you can start scaling what it is that you're doing. Is very, very important. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you part 1 on how coaching and consulting works. This is part 1 on how coaching and consulting works. And please, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give me some feedback even throughout the show. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have anything that you know you need some insight on or some direction on, I want you to feel free to reach out to me and to my team at any point. You can drop the question, the feedback, the takeaway, whatever it is in the comments, or we're going to give you a number that you're able to reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. We'll be more than happy to assist you in any way. I want you to win. And I truly believe that in 2022, God has positioned many of us, not just in the body of Christ or in the church, but I truly believe that God has positioned many of us in the marketplace, in what we may consider to be the secular world, to use our skill sets as leverage so that we can establish a foundation for our personal legacies, for our family legacies, even for our community legacy. So now, if God has given us an opportunity by putting us in a position to use our skill sets as leverage, can we both agree that your skill set has to be up to par? You got to make sure that whatever it is that you're teaching, whatever it is that you're sharing, whatever it is that you are leading with, that it is good enough so that when it goes into the market, it can get the right attention, it can get the right response, and at some point it can help you make the right conversions. And so, as I said, this whole week, every day this week on the Ramon Preston Show, I am dedicating each segment throughout this series to giving you some behind the boardroom insights. I'm basically showing you what me and my company do on a day-to-day basis as we serve our clients through our consulting division, as we serve our clients through our coaching division, as we serve our clients and our students in our training division. So we provide coaching. It's business coaching, it's financial coaching, it's real estate coaching. For those who are in the real estate arena or who want to be in the real estate arena, we provide coaching in that capacity. We also provide consulting. We provide business consulting, financial consulting, and real estate consulting. So whether you are looking to purchase a home, whether you're looking to purchase a rental property, whether you're looking to acquire certain assets, or whatever it is that you're looking to do in business, in finances, and in real estate, we provide coaching and consulting for those areas. But we also provide training, which means that even if I'm not coaching you or consulting you, I have a online virtual training platform that gives you information, that gives you training and tutorials in business, to show you how to start and structure a holding company, to show you how to file and form your operating entities, to show you how to draft your operating agreements, to show you how to use a holding company as a concept to diversify your organizational assets. I teach about financial literacy, creative tax strategies. We teach on sales and marketing. We teach on real estate investing, goal setting. All of that is a part of our training division. So if you are a coach, a consultant, and or trainer, or if you think you might want to become a coach, consultant, and trainer, or even if you just wonder if you need those type of professionals or someone that provides those types of services in your life, I think that if you're following along this week in each of these 5 segments throughout this series, you're gonna be able to identify with where you are and what exactly you need. It's not just about you becoming a client of a coaching program, but it's about you understanding that it's very difficult for you to be to someone else what you don't have for yourself. Am I making sense with that? You want me to say that again? Did you catch it? It's very difficult for you to be to someone else what you don't have for yourself. So if I'm going to be a leader to people, if I'm going to be a trainer to people, if I'm going to be a consultant to people, if I'm going to be a coach to people, and again, it may not even be on a professional expert level, but if you are leading a business, if you're trying to build a side hustle out, if you want to be the boss and you want to be the decision maker, you want to be the shot caller and the baller, well, guess what? At some point, you're going to have to develop the mindset first, but then you have to develop the skill set to lead, the mindset and the skill set to deploy, the mindset and the skill set to develop others, the mindset and the skill set to know how to train, the mindset and the skill set to coach and to consult other people. And as I said earlier, this is one of the reasons why a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners who are out there in the marketplace, the reason why they run into a lot of resistance, because they're like, well, Ramon, I don't necessarily need a coach, okay? I don't need a coach. I don't need a consultant. I don't need a trainer, right? Let's just give you an example. So if you're like, you know what, I don't need a coach, I don't need a consultant, I don't need a trainer. But now let's think about the information that you have about your business. So it doesn't matter what products or services you're selling. If you want to get into the marketplace and you want to sell products, you want to sell services, how are you going to sell those products and services? Even if it's just you as an individual. Well, one way you're going to do it is by marketing, correct? So you're going to go into the market, you're going to start marketing your products and services, you're going to start telling people about what it is that you sell and what you got and how good it is. A lot of times when you do that, guess what happens? You all know what happens if you've done it before. You don't necessarily get positive responses. You might get a few people to like your posts. You might get a few people to comment. You might get a few people to inbox you. And then once you start filtering and fleshing people out, all of a sudden you realize that you may have gotten 1 or 2 sales, or you may have gotten no sales. And is it because your products and services are bad? Is it just because your marketing was not that good? Yes, it could be all of the above. But if you learn how to elevate your mindset and elevate your skill set, meaning that if you learn how to put yourself in a different position, right? Now, when you go into the market, and even though you're going into the market to discuss products and services, but if you go into the market with the mindset of a coach, with the mindset of a consultant, with the mindset of a trainer, now there's a different level of responsibility you're assuming. You know why? Because you want to make sure that you walk people through the correct process. You want to make sure that whatever the potential customer or client that you have their attention to discuss these products and services with, that as a consultant, you are helping them identify what's best for them. You have the mindset that as a trainer, you want to give them things that are going to make their lives better, so that you don't want them to just purchase a product. Because as a coach, if that product doesn't get them to where they need to go, you're failing as a coach. Do you see how that works mentally? As a consultant, if this product does not produce the results, you are violating your fiduciary responsibility to give them your professional opinion. As a trainer, they're not going to see the end goal of what it is that you want them to see, or they told you they want to see, if this has not taken place. So this whole world of coaching, this whole world of consulting, this whole world of training, I personally think that it goes beyond the profession of coaching, consulting, and training, because this is what I do. This is what my company is built around, but it goes beyond that. It goes into you having a heart to really want to see people succeed, having a heart to really want to see people win, having a heart to really want people to live their dreams, having a heart to really want to see people create freedom for their lives. Because the truth is, no matter what products and services you're selling, you are selling products and services not just to make money, but to actually provide something to people that you know there's a void in the market for, or there's something that is demanded and you believe that you have an angle or a perspective that will make supplying that demand that much more better for a potential customer and client. And so that's why today on part one, I'm really focusing on how coaching and consulting works. So again, when I talk about coaching and consulting, all right, how does this work? This may be for those of you who you're either wondering if you are a coach, a consultant, a trainer, or if you may be wondering, do you need a coach, a consultant, and trainer? I truly believe if you ever take upon the mindset of a coach, a consultant, and trainer, I almost guarantee you're going to want to have a coach in your life. You're going to want to have consultants in your life, which, by the way, if you have attorneys, if you have CPAs, if you have bankers, if you have investment advisors, a lot of these people assume the role of consultants and trainers. Some of them even assume the role of coaches. Not all of them, but there are those out there. I am more of a business and financial coach and consultant, which means my role is to make sure that your business is started correctly, it is structured correctly, and it is positioned with the right systems that are integrated into it so that it can scale correctly. So that's where my expertise is. And I'm going to take just a few moments to walk you through the process that my company uses in order to bring a potential customer and client through a coaching, a consulting, or a training process. So again, when you think about coach, when you think about coaching, let me just word it. When you think about coaching, I want you to think about more of a personal, I want you to think more of a personal touch. That would be an easy way to put it. Coaching is about a personal touch. So if you think about a coach, right? You think about a football coach, you think about a basketball coach, you think about a soccer coach. What are coaches doing? Well, they're providing somewhat of a team touch, but more specifically, they're providing personal touches, because if you go to certain sophisticated teams, you'll see that they have a head coach, but then they will have a defensive coach, they'll have an offensive coach, they'll have a hand coach, they'll have feet coach, they'll have leg coaches, right? They have all types of coaches that fit the criteria of whatever the demand is for the players that are on the team. But the head coach is going to assume their position to make personal touches with all of the players. And it's easy to do this because the coach is in a position to just focus on the overall objective of the team, but also to make sure that each player on the team understands what their role is and what that role does to the role of other players on the team. So when you think about coaching, whether you're a life coach, whether you are a spiritual coach, whether you are like me, a business and financial coach, whether you are a health coach, or whether you are a mental coach, whatever the type of coach you are, I want you to just think about you being in a position to provide what? A personal touch to your clients, because you really don't necessarily have customers as a coach as much as you have clients. Now, when we think about consulting, what makes it different from coaching? Well, for me, I believe consulting is not as personal as it is professional. This is my own personal opinion. I believe consulting is a little more professional as opposed to coaching, which is a little more personal. And so while coaching will provide a personal touch, I believe consulting will provide professional task. So let me give you an example of what a professional task is. If you called me and said, okay, Ramon, I need you to be my business and financial coach. I want to join your coaching program. What that is saying to me, even before we assess your professional and financial situation, is that you want a personal touch. You need someone who can walk you play by play through each step and each stage of your business building, financial building process. That would be more of a coaching touch that you would need. That's personal. But if you called me and you said, listen, Ramon, I have a company, I have a few volunteers, a few staff members, and we're trying to figure out what is the best route we collectively need to take in order to structure or restructure or organize or integrate systems so that we can scale our business and go from 6 people to 62 people. How are we going to do that? For me, that will sound more like consulting, because you need me to help you build an infrastructure for professional tasks. So there may be some personal touches, of course, in this dynamic, but more specifically, we will identify this as consulting. So as I said, if you have a lawyer, if you got a CPA, if you got other professionals in your life that are helping you with more infrastructure, task-oriented, project-type objectives, then that individual or that company may be playing more of a role of a consultant. But when you got somebody lighting fire under your butt and making sure that every day you're waking up, moving towards your goals, and you're calling the right plays, and when you don't call the right play, you call audibles, and you're moving through each step with someone in your ear, with someone motivating you, with someone giving you the directives that you need along the way, you're working with a coach. And so again, even if you're selling t-shirts, taking upon the mindset and developing a skill set of a coach and a consultant will increase the value of what you're selling as a t-shirt vendor, or as a apparel vendor. Or maybe there's a specific service that you provide, and it could be landscaping, it could be tree service, it could be carpet removal, it could be painting or construction. Imagine how much more valuable your business could be if you actually had the mindset of a coach and a consultant in that specific area. So for example, let's say if I painted walls and all I did was paint, I can easily go into the market and identify myself as the paint guy, right? Or I wash cars, I detail cars. It's easy for me to go into the market and say, hey, I wash cars. I'm the detail guy. I know what I'm doing. That's good. It doesn't mean I won't make money. But if I am able to build a business system and an infrastructure that will allow me to assume a role or a position as a coach and a consultant, not just in detailing, but in the business of running a detailing company or a car wash business, guess what happens to my value? It goes up, because now not only am I able to provide car wash services to my customers, but I'm also able to position myself and to treat them as clients, even though they're just getting a $50 car wash. But I'm able to coach them or maybe consult them on what my professional opinion is, even though you see these things in what you do, but we don't always separate these things. This is one of the reasons why I want to talk about this, because the way the world is moving and the direction the world is going with regard to the digitization of things and technology and automations and artificial intelligence and the crypto world and the NFT world and the metaverse, this thing is real, ladies and gentlemen. And that means we've got to change our strategies on how we do business, especially if the business that we're doing is overwhelmingly products and services that we're providing. We've got to elevate ourselves from just being product pushers or service providers to understanding that there are different levels to what we're doing. So that now, again, if I'm the detail guy, but I'm positioned with the mindset of a coach and the mindset of a consultant, and I develop that skill set, guess what happens? Okay, yes, I could continue to provide car wash services. I could continue to provide these detail services, but I can also provide consultations to clients, not just somebody who wants a $50 car wash, but perhaps to someone who has 50 cars. that needs a professional to come and to make an assessment of what direction they should go and what type of rotation they need and what things that are needed and necessary for their fleet to maintain the integrity. Now all of a sudden, I'm not just a car wash guy. I'm a professional who's assuming a role to develop projects or programs to make sure that my clients are taken care of. And I'm also able to provide these services in addition to the service that I'm providing to do the work. I can provide these services to people who may want to get into the car wash business, but who may not know all the ins and outs. They may not understand the chemicals. They may not understand how to put a business together. They may not understand how to talk to clients, how to create schedules to make sure you don't drop the ball. So now I can provide coaching and consulting to potential professionals who want to get in this industry, but who want to make sure that they're doing it right. This goes across the board. I just gave you an example of car washing. I just gave you an example of detailing. It could be with any product and service that you're serving and servicing and providing. It could be in any industry, in any market. But what is going to make that happen? You putting yourself in a position to develop the mindset and to develop the skill set of a coach and a consultant. And I haven't even talked about the training part, because the training is essential. It is essential to your success. Now, I know I'm going over a lot of information, and I know some of this information may feel like it's, beyond where you at right now. But remember, if all you're doing is selling $2 slices of cakes, there's still a mindset and a skill set of a coach and a consultant that you can adopt and that you can build a business around to make your $2 cakes that much more valuable. So you always have to keep that in mind. By the way, if you have any questions, I would love to hear your questions. I would love for you to drop the questions in the comments if you have any questions and comments. And again, what I'm sharing with you at the very least may just convince you that one of the reasons why you're not able to scale the revenue of your business or increase your productivity in your business is because you are lacking professionals like coaches and consultants who can help you with things that you're not able to help yourself with. And it's okay. It's not condescending. It should not be disappointing. It should not bring you to an abrupt end of yourself. It should just encourage you to at least know that as long as I put myself in a position to develop that mindset, to develop that skill set, how am I going to do it? I got to get around people like that. And a lot of people don't want to come around coaches and consultants and trainers because they're always being hindered by the costs associated to having those types of people in their life, as opposed to the value that's going to come from having those type of people in your life. So just as much as I love coaching, I love consulting, I love training, guess what? Not a week goes by and pretty much not a day goes by that I'm not getting coached, consulted, and trained by people who are further along than me in many areas of my life. I have spiritual mentors, coaches, and consultants. I have financial mentors, coaches, and consultants. I have business mentors, coaches, and consultants. And guess what? I pay for all of the above, even if some of them don't charge. Especially my spiritual mentors and my mama, them in the faith, my spiritual mom in the faith, she ain't charging for nothing. She just give me game and just bless me and have done that for almost 20 years. And all of my spiritual mothers and fathers that I've had in the faith have just done it. But my due diligence to show my appreciation is always to be a blessing to them, to sow into them, and to express my love and admiration and honor to them by doing so. But when it comes to business and finances and other professional aspects of my life, I have to pay to play. I got to get in those circles. I got to stay in those circles, and I got to learn what I need to learn. So here's what I want you to think about. I'm going to take this whole week to talk about different aspects of coaching and consulting, but I want to share with you my 5-point consulting and coaching process. So we have a process that we use here at Ramon Preston Enterprises. So whether you are a client that's being coached and consulted by my company, or whether you are being trained by my company to become a successful coach and a consultant, we're going to teach you this 5-point process. We call our process, it's the AIDE process, AIDIE. This is the process that I use. And again, I know some people will feel like, why are you sharing all your information? Because you could take all of the information that I share, you could go to my website, I have it on my website. But if you don't know how to do what I know how to do and what I've trained my team to do and what I train other clients to do, then it's never gonna work. Even if you copy and paste it, even if you move my picture off of a flyer and put your picture, and you take all of my processes and implement them to make yourself feel good, it doesn't mean it's gonna work, because you may not know how to do it the way the person who created it knows how to do it. And so the AIDE process, this is my 5-point process. This is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, this is the fourth one, this is the fifth one. And as I said, there are so many different things within each step of this process, and I'll do my best this week to get through it, because again, I want you to see, number one, that you need a coach, you need a consultant, you need a trainer, you need business and financial professionals that you have paid to be in your life to help you move forward. So instead of you taking the next 12 years and losing and failing and flopping and going from top to bottom and then around in circles and then go back to the top and come back to the bottom, instead of you doing that, we want to move time out of the equation. And we want to drop coaching and consulting for your business and for your finances and for your professional life in that spot, so that we can accelerate you, so that we can move you forward. We just hosted one of our quarterly workshops this past Saturday, and these workshops are a part of our Millionaire Mentorship program. So all of our clients who are being mentored by me and coaching clients that are in our program, they all show up once a quarter, and we take them through an entire day of training on different subjects that are relative to their business success, whether it's holding companies, corporate systems, financial systems. This particular one Saturday was on sales and marketing, but we had a few of our clients and mentees come up to the stage and share their stories and their testimonies on how coaching and consulting and training has transformed their lives. And these are people who did not necessarily have a sense of direction when it came to business. They knew there were some things that they wanted to do. There are some things that they were extremely good at doing. They just didn't know how to package it and present it in the market so that it could actually generate revenue to help their business continue to grow. And this is the power of coaching. But all of them have gone through this same similar process. So I want to just share with you what my 5-step process is. So my first step is the A. The A is assess. Okay, this is what we do. The second step, 2, is identify. I'll just write them all down and then I'll come back. 3, D, is develop. 4 is integrate. And 5 is execute. So this is the 5-step process that we use for coaching and consulting our clients. This is a powerful, powerful process. And again, even if you don't necessarily use this process, and I'll take the next few days on the show to further discuss why this process is like very critical for you. But again, even if you're not using this process, I still want you to understand how it should be working for you, even if you are looking for a coach. How should coaching work for you? Like, what is the process that you should be going through? And maybe you're just trying to do some research and homework to see, okay, when I'm shopping for a coach, when I'm looking for a professional consultant, what are some things that I should be looking for? Well, these 5 steps will actually help you understand what you should be expecting and looking for, and what type of person should be able to provide that. So for example, if you know that there's some issues with your business and you just can't quite wrap your mind around, how do I structure my business? I got 3 or 4 business ideas. What systems do I need? I'm doing everything myself. I really don't understand technology. I don't even have the money to hire no help. I know I need help. I don't know how to market. I don't know how to sell. I don't know nothing about taxes. I don't know nothing about QuickBooks. So this means that you need someone to sit down with you and walk you through a certain process to make sense of all those things. It needs to be simplified. Once it's put together and it makes sense, now it's easier for you to move forward so that you can actually start working your business and generating revenue. And so this is how we walk our clients through the coaching and the consulting process. So for example, let's say you responded today and you was like, you know what? I want to know more about your Millionaire Mentorship program. I want to know more about your 1-year accelerated coaching and consulting program, Ramon. And I just need to get some help on how to take my idea, put it into a product, drop it in a business, go into the market, make some money, and continue to repeat that process over and over again. Where are we going to start? Well, if I'm sitting down with you in an initial coaching session, we're going to walk through each stage of this AD process. So I'm going to start with assessing. So what am I actually going to assess? Well, I'm going to assess your personal, I'm going to assess your professional, and I'm going to assess your financial goals to help you set the trajectory for where you want to go. That's how I'm going to assess your situation. So I'll just skim through them and I'll come back to the one, and hopefully every day we'll be able to touch on each of the one between now and the end of the week. Once we assess your personal, professional, and financial goals, and we're able to set the trajectory for that, then we want to identify. We want to identify with what is your perfect business structure. You may already have a LLC, but is it structured correctly? Do you need a holding company? And if you need a holding company because you have 2 or 3 business ideas that need to be separate entities, then we need to start a holding company, and we need to put the other companies under the holding company. So we're going to identify with your perfect business structure. We're also going to have to identify with your brand identity, because when you go into the market and you start running ads and marketing and telling people about your business, that marketing needs to be an extension of your branding. It has to be consistent. If it's not connected and consistent, your message is going to suffer. We'll hear what you're saying on social media, but we'll know it's not consistent with the other things that you're doing. But we also want to identify with your brand ambassador. Like, who is the person that's going to be the spokesperson? Who is the thing? You know, are you going to have a Geico for your business as an ambassador, or are you going to be it, or your spouse or your child is going to be it, or some employee? We have to identify with that, and we use our process to really hone in on the business, the brand, and then the brand ambassador. That's identifying. Number 3, we're going to develop. What do you mean develop? Well, we want to develop a basis or foundation for your organizational position, meaning that who are you in your business? Are you the CEO? Are you the executive consultant? Are you the individual that stands on the top of the corporate ladder of your company? And if that's the case, we need to make sure you understand what your purpose is, what your role is. But we also want to develop a basis for your products, your services, your prices, and your perfect client profile. So this part of developing is not just for you, but it's also for your products. What type of products do you have? Are they priced right? Are they packaged right? So that you could go into the market and you can actually sell them. And we want to know who your perfect client profile is. Who is the perfect person that fits the criteria of the product that you're attempting to sell? Then we have integrate. Integrate means that we want to make sure that you have the right systems and processes for your organization, because we want to foster best practices. So for example, once we get to the integrate step, maybe you need QuickBooks to track your income and expenses. Maybe you need a sales CRM so that when you are marketing and people start responding, you have a system to put their data in so that you can communicate with them, you can follow up with them, and you can walk them through a process of making the sale. So you're not just on the phone or going to meetings and having presentations and you really don't know what you're talking about. This is a part of integrating the right systems. And last but not least, we have execute. Once we put this whole 4 steps together, it makes it easier for us to execute a game plan. This is how I consult and coach almost all of my clients, especially any client that I'm coaching that joins a coaching program of mine or that is being mentored by me outside of a company that needs more of a task, project-oriented consultation. Every coaching client, I make sure that we set this thing out for at least a year so that we automatically know what our target is for the year. What is the number for the year? What are we doing every day to get to that number? And as long as we're able to check the box of each of these 5 steps, it's almost always across the board a successful execution. So these are my 5 steps. Maybe you don't have your own 5 steps. And again, you can try to use mine, but if you don't know what I know, and if you don't do what I do, it's still not going to work for you. Like, I have coaches, I have consultants, I have trainers, I have mentors, I have people that lead me, and they all have their own steps. They all have their own processes. My goal is for you to create your own proprietary processes, for you to take the intellectual property of what you do and figure out what works for you, because you may have a different client profile. But at least if you can get this type of information, if you can be around this to develop the mindset, it will become more native for you to have the skill set. I hope I'm making sense. Now, I may take a few minutes. We want to bring this first session today to a close because we have a whole week. But I would love to know, for those of you that are watching me live, I would love to know, what is the biggest takeaway so far? What have you heard? Maybe just the one big thing that you've heard that has just blown your mind. Maybe it's one of these steps. Maybe it's the whole process that I shared with you and you're thinking, wow, I didn't even know coaching and consulting was that big of a deal. Especially if you are a coach, a consultant, or a leader and trainer, you really have to adopt this and learn to develop the mindset and skill set for this. But please put in the comments and let me know, what do you think about what we've shared with you so far and how you feel about it. Let me know. I would love to know that. Please let me know. All right? Please let me know. Now, I mentioned that I was going to come back to the first step, which is to assess. This is assessing, okay? So how do you assess someone's personal, professional, and financial situation? Because that's what assessing is. What I mean by assessing is I want to sit down with you and I want to find out from you personally, professionally, on your job, if you're a W-2 employee, if you're a network marketer, if you are a 1099 contractor, or you're just an executive that's working for a company. I want to assess your personal, professional, and your financial life. I want to know, what exactly do you want to accomplish within the next year? Another question I may ask you is, in the perfect world, you waking up a year from now, how will your life be and what position would you like to see yourself in? And so I'm going to get a lot of answers. Oh, I want to be full-time in business. Okay, that's one answer I always get. I want to be full-time in my business. Another one is, I want to hire my child, or I want to hire my spouse. Another one I get a lot of times is I want to be debt free. I want to be debt free, and I want to be a millionaire. Okay? These are all items that's helping you and I assess your personal, your professional, and your financial life. So now once we get this information, okay, you want to be full-time in your business. You want to be debt free. You want to be a millionaire. You want to hire your child and your spouse. Now guess what we got to go through? We got to go through the quantifying stage of this process, meaning that this information qualifies that you have something you want to accomplish. I want to be full-time in business. That qualifies it. But now we have to quantify it. We have to quantify it, okay? You say, I want to be full-time. So that's one box you can check. I qualified my goal for at least the next year. So if you say, Ramon, 1 year from now, I want to wake up and be full-time in my business. All right, you qualified it, but now we need to quantify it. How do you quantify it? This is how you assess your situation, whether you're doing a self-assessment, whether I'm doing an assessment with you, or you're assessing a client or someone that you're working with. Now we need to quantify it. How do you quantify it? We need to put a dollar amount to it. So in order for you to be full-time in business, how much money would you need to be making? Well, I don't know. Well, how much money does it cost for you to live right now and not be over your head? Well, maybe it costs $5,000 a month. So you're telling me if you had $5,000 a month coming in from your business that you wouldn't have to work another job? Oh, yes, I would definitely be. Okay, so now that means you need to make at least $60,000 this year in your business in order to be full-time. This is how you start breaking this process down. But now once we got that number, we've qualified it with information, we've quantified it with numbers, but now we have to start doing the math to figure out, how do we get to 60K? How do we get to 60K? That means we're going to have to take our calculator out. We're going to have to look at our products and services, and we're going to have to figure out how much effort, how many steps, how much work do we need to put in with products and services that we provide in order to reach this target within a 12-month window. So that would be $60,000 a year. Let me just show you real quickly before we end this show. That's $60,000 a year. Let's do the math. 60 grand. If you divide 60,000 into 12 months, that's $5,000 a month. Right? If you divide 5,000 into 4 weeks, that's $1,250 a week. So this is year, this is month, this is week. You can even divide that into 7 days. Divide that into 7 days, that's $178 a day. Now, because we've quantified that one thing that we wanted to do, that we figured out in our assessment, it makes it easier for us to start attaching this to the products and services, because now we got to look at what type of products and services do you have. So let's just assume you had a $20 product. Let's assume you had a $200 product. And let's assume you had a $2,000 product. If you didn't have at least 3 product lines like that, if I'm your coach and consultant, I'm most likely going to make sure that you have at least 3, because you're going to need at least 3 to come up with a median product number. So that would be median, that would be middle. So when I'm trying to make $178 a day, $1250 a week, $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year. I can't be realistic using 2,000 because I may not make all sales at 2,000. I can't be realistic saying 20 because I might not make all 20. But if I use the median one, now it's easier for me to take 200 and divide it into 60,000. So now 60,000 divided into 200 is 300. So based on this median number, if I sold 300 products this year, I will make $60,000. 3,000, that would be 300 products sold for the year. 300 divided by 12, that would be 25 a month. Divided by 4, that would be 6 a week. That would, am I correct? That's 300 a month. Let me make sure I'm right with that. 300 times 2. Yeah, 300 times 2, so that's 300 a month. Let's see here, 300 times 12, that's 25 a month times 4, 6 times 7. So that's actually like 1 a day. That's like 1 a day. If you did that, now you at least have something that you could go into the market and work with. Because every day you wake up, you thinking, man, I got to sell at least one $200 product. Or every week, you're like, man, I got to sell at least 6 of these $200 products. If you start quantifying it like that, this is why the assessment step in that process is so important. So again, for those of you that are watching me, and you have literally never had a professional coach. You've never had a professional consultant. You've never had anyone to walk you through a similar process like what I just mentioned. And you know you need it because your business is suffering. Your finances are suffering. You should not be in business and not be free to continue to move forward with strategies and solutions like that. Of course, it will cost you money to have people like me in your circle and in your life. But the value of the results that you get should be worth more than the cost that you have to pay to actually get it. So if you can just get past the mindset of not having it, thinking that at some point you're going to get the skill set like you have it, knowing that you've tried it month after month, year after year. Some of you may be decade after decade and you've never been able to get it off the ground. Or you may have times when you make a little money, you go up, and then you find yourself spending more money, and then you come back down. And then you go up a little bit, and then you go straight, and then you come down. And then you go up, and then you go down. You know what this inconsistency is? This inconsistency is a lack of stability. You need stability down here. You need consistency down here. And guess what? You over here, you can't create that for you. You need assistance. Like when I realized and I always realized it in ministry, because when you come up in the church and you're in ministry and you're around Christians, you understand the role of mentors and having pastors and having spiritual fathers and mothers and having people speak into your life and hold you accountable and keep you on the straight and narrow. Because of where I came from in my past life, I needed that when I came into the church. I needed everybody to hold me accountable. I needed people calling me. I needed people making sure that I was staying on the straight and narrow. So when I started getting into business, I realized quickly that, man, the reason why I'm succeeding in ministry and I'm succeeding as a Christian and I'm staying clean and sober and saved and my integrity is still intact is because of the people I'm surrounded by. So I had to duplicate that same thing in business. But the difference was I couldn't depend on my pastor to be my business coach. I couldn't depend on the deacon or the usher to be my business consultant. I couldn't depend on the church treasurer to be my financial advisor. I needed professional people who I knew it was going to cost me money, cost me time, cost me energy, cost me a lot of goofing off and playing and just, loafing in order to have these people. But Every decision that I've made to have coaches and consultants and people training me and holding me accountable has paid off way beyond what it costs to get it. So I really want to challenge you today to take into consideration. Some of you shouldn't even be taken into consideration. You should be texting me right now saying, Ramon, I'm ready. I want to be a part of your mentorship program. I want to learn what you are teaching your clients to become blueprint millionaires. I want to get out of poverty. I want to get out of debt. I want to be in business full time. I want to live my dreams. I want to fulfill my destiny. I want to build a legacy for my family. And I know what I want to do, but I just don't know how to get it done. And I need someone to help me. I want you to text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. That's all you need to do. All you need to do is text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. When you text this number, we're going to reach back out to you and we're going to talk to you for a few minutes. We'll walk you through a brief over the phone assessment, and we're going to tell you about our mentorship program, our online business and financial wealth building system that we have, and we're going to give you information on what we offer and how it can impact you, and we want to set you up for success. Don't wait till next year. Don't wait until you feel like it's the perfect time. Don't wait until you think, okay, now I'm in the position. That time almost never comes. You're listening to me today and you're thinking, man, if I would have did this 5 years ago, I probably would be a millionaire now. But guess what? If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, this is what the old folks used to say. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, every day would be Christmas. But you don't have to wait and wonder and live in the past about what woulda, coulda, shoulda if you woulda did it. It doesn't have to be that way. What you have to do is get to a place in your life that you make a decision, you stand on that decision, and you pay the price now so you can pay any price later. Because I want you to look back a year from now and say, I am so glad I let what this gentleman was saying to me resonate with my heart, get my attention enough for me to make a move. Just text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. We want to get you connected to our millionaire mentorship program. We have a 1 year, it's a 1 year accelerated coaching and consulting program. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to have conversations with our coaching clients. We have a lot of coaching clients who joined our coaching program last year in 2021, and their program is ending within the next few months, and we're starting to have conversations with them to join our millionaire mentorship program. Number one, because I don't want them to stop and then they never get to the finish line if a year was not enough for them. Number two, I understand that coaching and consulting never really ends. Because again, I'm a part of a coaching program. I'm a part of a consulting group. I'm a part of a millionaire mentorship program where I'm being mentored by billionaires and millionaires. I'm being coached by some of the best people on the planet when it comes to business and sales and marketing. I pay tens of thousands of dollars to get access to some of the most amazing people on the planet. But guess what? Every dollar pays me hundreds or probably thousands back in return, because even if certain detailed information is not necessarily used when I get it, the mindset that I get from it, the motivation I get from it, the ideas that come to me because I'm in that environment and ecosystem, it changes me and it always causes me to be better. So I fly regularly back and forth to Miami, Florida. That's one of the cities that I fly into because that's where our main coach is headquartered. And guess what? There hasn't been a time that I've flown there, whether it's for 1 day, 3 days, or a whole week, over and over and over again. There hasn't been a time that I've gone there and sat in those training sessions, got mentored, got checked, got corrected, got constructive criticism, got a new hole ripped in me because I thought I figured it out and knew it, and I was trying to answer with swag. I've been through it all, but guess what? I accepted the humiliation. I accepted the reality. I accepted the embarrassment or whatever I felt. I got better, not bitter. I grew from it, and guess what? It's got me to where I am now, and it's going to continue to help me get to where I want to be. I want you to have that same experience. I want you to have that same testimony. So don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. I want you to text the word millionaire. Hey, those of you that are in our coaching program, and you know your coaching program is about to end, and you want to talk with me today about how we can reset you and move you forward into our Millionaire Mentorship program, I'll be more than happy to speak with you. If for some reason you don't reach out to me because you see this later at a different time, no worries. I'll be sending some information out to you within the next few hours, no more than within the next day or so. You'll be getting some information because I want all of our prior coaching clients to join our Millionaire Mentorship program for 2022. I want to take you into 2023, 24, and beyond, but I want to take you there being a real six-figure earner, real seven-figure earner, real solid, successful entrepreneur, running your business like a boss, building a legacy for you and for your family. So again, if you have any questions, text the word millionaire. If you know you don't even need questions answered, you're ready because you've seen enough, you've heard enough, I'm credible to you. You know that I'm the type of person you want to connect to, especially those of you that are in the faith community. I have a lot of clients that always tell me, I love what you do as a coach, a consultant, a trainer. I love the information you share, but more importantly, the fact that you're a prophet, you're a man of God, you are a minister of the kingdom of God, you serve God, you serve God's people, and you love his people. That's what's attracted me even more. So guess what? You need that in your life. I want me and my team to be there for you to help you get to your next level. Text millionaire to 404-478-7213. So remember, all week I'll be talking about this same thing. And I want you to reach out to me, and I want you to let me know what we can do to help you. All right. I love all of you. Appreciate all of you. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. We want to get to 10,000 subscribers quickly. We're almost at 7,000. So I think we need about 2,200 more. So please, all of your family members and friends, would you be so kind to do me a favor and ask your family members and friends to visit YouTube, type in Ramon Preston, and subscribe to Ramon Preston's YouTube page. That will mean a lot to me. I certainly appreciate it. And when you get some family members, some friends, some associates, let them know this is a part of my family. All of you that are a part of our family, I see you as a part of our family. I don't just see you as a social media follower or just some stranger. You're part of the family. You part of the squad. You part of the tribe. So please subscribe to our YouTube page. Like us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, anywhere you can find me at Ramon Preston. I love you. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow right here. You already know, on the Ramon Preston Show.